guys doing that, and I will look at doing that, maybe.
June 2nd. June 2nd.
Oh, okay. That's great. I'm glad that is fabulous. I'm glad you're doing that. How long do those things go? How far of a route is it?
It's 200 miles out in the Flint Hills.
And you want me to do the 200 miles?
There's a DK light and a DK light, so you could do either one.
What's the DK light look like? What's that one look like? How many miles is that one?
Or you can just come to the Finish Line event and hang out in the beer garden.
Okay, all right. No, that's great. That sounds fabulous.
We also have a glass-blown disc golf tournament that takes place in April. It is also about 400 participants. It takes up our country club golf course, our municipal golf course, and 2 courses in 2 of our parks with about the same number of participants. So we get these people coming in from all over the United States, and we're hoping to make that a world tour as well. So great things happening in Emporia and in the region.
That's great. Hey, Karen, when's the Discovery Center opening up? You got a place going there?
Do you really want a Convention and Visitors Bureau person to have the microphone?
Okay, well, maybe we can shut that off, Mike.
We are so excited. I think that I echo what Betty says. There are so many great things that are happening within the Flint Hills region. But Manhattan will be opening the Flint Hills Discovery Center. Bob Workman, our executive director of the Flint Hills Discovery Center, is here. April the 14th is that day. It's a Saturday. If you've not had the opportunity to be in Manhattan, it's a great gateway, not only to our community, but to this region. We're very, very honored to be that community that has said we want to tell you about what you're going to experience in this region as you get out and you go and see. I couldn't help but think as we're talking about, as we're listening to all of those events that happen, music happens in June from the streets in Cottonwood Falls to the symphony to country music. If you're not a music fan in Kansas, there's something wrong with you, because there's music of every genre that you can enjoy. But another project that we've been working on, and I think that there'll be some discussion about this later today, is the Flint Hills Regional Welcome Center. I think it's very, very important for us to have a place that we can...
Where's that being discussed to be? Where?
I think it will come up in that panel discussion in the second breakout, probably, would be my guess.
Is that a fight about where it's going to be located?
No.
Okay, good.
There has been a core committee that's been working on that. Consultants have come in, and the site has been determined at 177 and I-70. The discussion now is what are our next steps, and we're working on that.
Somebody that might be one of your next steps is Barb Rankin, is the acting secretary of the Kansas Department of Transportation. Barb is here, and Deb Miller, that a number of you knew. Deb was very engaged in the Flint Hills projects in different capacities, mostly money, which people are interested in, and so keep Barb involved in your discussions here.
Absolutely. Speed dial. Thank you.
Good. Mike, you got somebody that's been waiting back there. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not just this side of the room, so I'll bounce over here next if anybody's interested.
Hi, I'm Susan Barnes. I'm with the Flint Hills Tourism Coalition, and I wanted to specifically address Ron Klataski's comment about the National Heritage Area. The Flint Hills Tourism Coalition has been working on it for a long, long time. We also have decided recently that the project is just too big for us. We are a volunteer organization, and as all of you know, Judy Billings did the Freedom's Frontier, leading Kansas Freedom's Frontier. Yeah, she did for years. And she did it with a paycheck. And we just are a volunteer organization of the 22 counties and feel like it's just too big for us to take on. But we would welcome anybody that wants to help. Well, Linda, why don't we try to grab that in the
Department of Wildlife, Parks, and Tourism to work on that. She's got her mouth full, so she can't object here. But I recognize what you're saying. I worked with Judy when I was in the Senate to get that designation, and that was a lot of effort to do. It took a lot of work, and you do need somebody to. So let's look. Linda, what we could do, or maybe we recruit somebody out of my office to work with that. But let's see if we can recruit somebody to work with that effort. We're not taking it over. We're just to try to staff it to get some help to people. Yes, sir.
Rick Dykstra, Gary County CVB.
Hey, Rick.
How you doing, sir?
Good.
First, want to say thank you to Robin Jennison. If you don't know, Mr. Jennison is not only taking the Flint Hills, but the entire state of Kansas out to these United States, and people are opening their eyes and saying, this is our destination. I want to publicly say thank you to Mr. Jennison. There's three things I've noticed when I came here, like the lady came here from Los Angeles. When I came here 32 years ago, I noticed three things. One, Mr. Audi has taught me a lot about the greater prairie chicken, and people come from around these United States to watch the greater prairie chicken in the Flint Hills. And if you just give me a second, when I travel the United States and I tell people, I say, there's three things the greater prairie chicken does. And I'm not embarrassed to do this. And I show them. I go, first of all, they stiffen up their wings and they dance. Then they stop. And then they boom, 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 and then they fight. And at the end of a few hours, whichever boys sung, danced, and fought the best gets all the girls, kind of like life. So I tell a lot of people that. And then the magnificence about the burning of the prairie. And I'm shocked when I read about urban America complaining about our smoke, and I hope that's resolved. And the third thing, and some of you in this audience knows I've been trying to get this done for years, is, sir, I'd like to have one Flint Hills map. The Kansas Department of Transportation has one map, and you have another map up there. It's about time that we combine the two Flint Hills to one and have a bigger area in which we can welcome people to these Flint Hills and not just say eco-region or the traditional Flint Hills. Thank you, sir.
How many of you for the one map concept here? How many opposed to that? How many don't know? That makes sense to me, Rick. I don't, I mean, anytime you got to promote an area, and then it's got to be defined, and it needs to be then set with one definition, not two or three. Yeah, go ahead. Give them the.
Don't know.
Here, take the mic.
As I was educated by some state officials, Rick, what is Flint? And I said, well, it's the rock. He says, so what is it? I said, it's the rock, but people come here for the tall grass. That's not Flint. And I'm not trying to put the Kansas Department of Transportation on the spot, but if you get the new map, state map, you'll see the boundary of the Flint Hills, and it is different than that boundaries. So I'm just saying that if we're going to use the term Flint Hills, let's make it bigger and more welcoming, and let's just combine the two maps. Right now, there's actually three maps floating in Kansas of what is the Flint Hills.
Who does the third map?
Flint Hills Tourism Coalition.
Can we
And
get
it's a
those three
membership-based
groups
map.
together to define a map? Barb, you guys be happy to do that. Linda, you guys. Robin, where are you? Robin Jennison stepped out. He had to head out. But Linda and Barb and Flint Hills Tourism, you guys good with joining up? Let's get the three of them together, and let's see if we can work that out. If there's a reason it doesn't or it shouldn't work out, I want to listen to that. But let's see if we can get those three groups together sometime here and get that figured out. Good. Well, I like solving problems. Yeah.
It's on. Hi, Governor. Thank you. I'm Patty Stalder with the Kansas Horse Council, and I want to thank you for coming to one of our trail rides earlier this fall. We put you on a horse.
That was a lot of fun.
On the bottom of the agenda, that's a picture of you there. And so talking about having 1,000 motorcycles coming in and all the cyclists, we got to have horses in there too. And I serve on a committee that is made up of a lot of the people in here, some landowners, and led by Dr. Tom Warner from K-State. And the mission for that committee is to create linked trail rides throughout the Flint Hills. And we did for horses only. And we did a national survey about a year or so ago. And I don't remember the percentages, but it was overwhelmingly recognized that people are willing to come from all over the country as a destination vacation to ride in the Flint Hills. And so it also promotes income for landowners. It's a very low impact way of having tourists come in there. And I know we've talked a little bit about this, but I just wanted to reiterate that having horses in the Flint Hills is what our heritage is based on. You wouldn't have cowboys if you didn't have horses on, wouldn't have the beef industry if we didn't have cowboys on the backs of horses throughout the years. So just wanted to
How are you guys coming on that project? Because I mentioned that last year and then got corrected because I mentioned a Sturgis for horseback riders. And
This is the
everybody,
lady that
no,
corrected you,
that's
sitting
not
right
what
here."
we're talking about here. We don't want thousands in the same. We want packets of 10 horses at a time going through.
I did preface that with, I don't know if this is tactful, sir, but
You did it very appropriately, and the point was stated and well received. I haven't used that line since until now.
and we appreciate it because you talk to ranchers about this and they go, Sturgis, oh no. But anyway,
Not interested.
no, not interested. They are interested though in sharing their lifestyle with people who are also interested. Now again, just like the conservation easements or, this is, every rancher is not going to be interested, and that's fine. This is another voluntary thing. But what we have
Hold
met
on
with-
just a second. I think Jeff's got to go vote on some stuff here. But Jeff, thank you for what you do. Let's give him a round of applause for being here and involved. Thanks, Jeff. Sorry to cut in on you.
No, that's fine. At this point, we are set to begin in April of 2012, and we have expanded it to, we do want the trail rides, we do want the people to experience the Flint Hills on horseback. However, we have expanded it to, not only do we want them to just experience a trail ride, we want this to be much bigger than that. We want to hopefully, our goal is to have them leave with a very high regard of the Flint Hills, the ecosystem, the culture, the ranchers, the animal agriculture that has allowed for the Flint Hills to remain the way they are, and you throw that all in on the back of a horse, and I think it's a winning combination. So we are
So
working down the road.
what will you launch in April?
In April, we will actually begin the rides, and we are.
If people want to sign up, how would they sign up?
The best person to contact at this point is Susan Barnes.
Okay. Do you have a website or anything like that of working on a website? And we can distribute that. Once you get that, we can distribute to the rest of the groups here so that people will know how to
Right.
access your rides.
And initially, it will be for people to bring their own horses, but we hope soon to segue into providing horses. But again, it will, as we discussed on our ride with you, this is not a head-to-tail trail ride. This is a ride with the landowner or with a wrangler, a few people, 4, 6, maybe 10, but so there's an interpersonal relationship that develops for half a day, eventually longer rides, but we're coming along very well, and we're real pleased with the way it's gone. We appreciate your support and your rephrasing.
I'm getting better. I appreciate your emphasis too on relationship building, because it is, that's what it's about. And when you're riding with somebody for a while, and a group of you on the back of a horse, it's nice and quiet. You can actually talk and engage nature and each other, which is a delight to be able to do. Linda Craighead, I want to get for a second too. Linda's been identifying trails. Have you already talked about that here with this group, or?
No, it's actually in conjunction with. We have.
Why don't you get the microphone there?
You think I really need it? But one of the areas, one of the things that's important not only is the opportunity to grow our local economy through the opportunity for private landowners to enter into a business that offers trail rides, but it's also important to offer the venue to those who have an interest in gaining access to public trails. So several of our state parks actually have camping facilities, whether it be El Dorado, they actually even have they have campsites, they have an arena, they have some wonderful trails, as does Tuttle and Milford within the Flint Hills region. But we also have a wonderful resource guide. Do you want to stand up and show them that?
Yeah,
Resource
hold that.
guide that identifies all the horse trail opportunities throughout the state of Kansas. We also have several people who have been working diligently to complete the Flint Hills Nature Trail that runs from actually Council Grove, Harrington all the way to Osawatomie. That would, if we can get that hooked up with the Metropolitan Trail Annex, then we could technically hook up to the Katy Trail that could take us all the way to St. Louis via off-road trail.
Big project, but a good one. Somebody got lady back here? Yes, ma'am.
Governor Brownback, my name's Paula Hawes, and I don't represent any group. I guess you could say I just represent myself. I am a resident of Matfield Green, Kansas, down in Chase County, formerly of Overland Park, Kansas. And all of these things that we're talking about are so exciting. But I wanted to put in a plea that whatever we do, we keep it real, because the reality and the way the Flint Hills is what attracts people to it. So if there's a hotel, I would hope that it not be a chain that comes in, but that it be that the state encourages and helps those who are putting together housing options for visitors, such as if you come to Matfield Green, you can stay in the Morning Glory Cottage or beautiful Matfield Station. There are places in Cottonwood, the Grand Central, Lark Inn, Millstream Hotel, and of course the wonderful music scene there. It's all very real. It really helps people like me who came from the city to appreciate the culture. And I think that's a very important thing to do. I am a volunteer at Pioneer Bluffs and at the Symphony in the Flint Hills. And those are nice ways to give people a chance to get to know the area and the people and the culture also. And I recently heard about the proposal to have daytime rail service that might stop in Chase County, and I would sincerely hope that if there's any way to make that so, that would work so beautifully with some of these other proposals. Thank you.
Thank you. That's good admonition. I'm getting a sign of one more here, then I'm going to have to probably roll.
Yes, Ken Belmar, Call Nation. Just wanted to throw an idea out. The Call Nation, we have a bond allocation for $24 million that we could issue tax-exempt bonds up to that level. We could use that for tourism. I have a short time frame on getting that done, but essentially, if the state of Kansas could help us find people who have an appetite for tax-exempt bonds, we could potentially use that money to fund part of the tourism project.
Guy Monroe, the chairman of the Kaw Nation, was mentioning that as a possibility. So, yes, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes,
Yeah.
Governor, thank you. My name is Jenny Andrews. I'm the Executive Director with Prairie Wood Retreat and Preserve out of Manhattan. And I do want to just remind everybody that we are one of those independently owned lodging facilities, and we'd love for you to come out and stay on our 250 acres of land, and we do have the swimming pool for the kids. We do have the golf around the corner with Colbert Hills, and with the new Discovery Center that we're so excited about in Manhattan, we are a great partner for that. Thank you.
Good advertisement. And you want to do it. Every chance you can, you got to. Thank you all for being out. We've got a lot of our team committed to this. Linda's been point person on it because she knows the topic in the area. We do want to keep it real. I think as the lady next before the last one, I think if we lose that authenticity, we probably lose the opportunity as well. Those, again, tie together, and it's not a sort of thing you can just do anyway. It's got to be done right way or it won't work. And I think you're completely right about that. Our office stands ready to help, and you've given us several things to focus on, and we have. Some things don't happen as fast as I'd like to see them happen, but that's that's the nature of a lot of things when you're working in a public arena where, look, you got to talk to a whole lot of people before something happens or moves, and a lot of times there are things you hadn't thought about that somebody brings up, and you go, oh, I hadn't thought about that, and then you got to adjust to be able to deal with it. But keep us focused. I'd like to keep having these sort of Flint Hills gatherings because I think it's useful in us to be able to march forward together and then to make sure we are getting things accomplished and that we're doing things that are right for it and for the overall. And I'm excited about the prospects of people being able to pull together with the grant proposals, with the conservation easements, with the tourism opportunities built that are regional fits for us. So we'll keep pushing on that. Linda, you're going to be here for the full conference. Barb's here. Barb, how long can you stick? All right, she's just another 30 minutes. Chris Howell, Chris had to leave, I know already. But we've got people, and then if there are things we need to hear about, or get a hold of me about any of it, because we want to see you guys succeed and do very, very well. Thanks. God bless you all.
Governor, there was one last request, and actually this came from the last session, Governor, that we didn't do, and they understand that you do a very good job of leading people in Home on the Range. And I think word got back out here from Oakley or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I was wondering if maybe you could get all these guys to stand up and we could all sing it together.
Loosen up just for you. Before your afternoon session, I am not good at this at all. One of you guys know how to sing?
Get in with these guys. You guys.
Phil, do you know how to sing? Yeah, could you guys come up here behind me and...
we got one over here. Okay, let's get it started. Oh, give me a home where the sessions on time. If everybody takes a look at your schedule, I think they are scheduled to start at 1:15, so that gives us about 10 minutes. Again, this is breakout room A. This is breakout room A. We want everybody to move kind of up here toward the front so we're not having to talk quite so far back. Sarisha Lespediza will be visited about in breakout room B, which is across the hall right out here, the far right hand, and then straight across is breakout session C. So we'll get started right at 1:15. Thank you.